Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Inside the Hem and today we are doing a sew along for the Tina Gibbons Fern Tunic. This is the pattern that we are all sewing as part of Sew Together. This is the April pattern, and in my experience with making this pattern, I get that the instructions are a little bit vague and hard to follow. So I thought for this month I would help you all out and give you a full sew along for this pattern. So without further ado, let's jump into it, starting with cutting out your fabric pieces. Okay, so the most important thing to remember whenever you are cutting out this tunic is that there are two folds. There is one across the top, which will be the shoulder, and also one down the center front and center back. So you're actually folding your fabric in half lengthwise and then folding it again widthwise so that you have that double folded corner. Then when you go to cut your necklines, you got to make sure that you cut the front one a little bit deeper than the back one. And those two cut lines are there. And then in addition to that, you're just going to be cutting out all of the extra little rectangles and straps and things that she tells you. She lists them out in the instructions. Just be sure to label each one with the size that it is and how many of them you were to cut out, because once you get going in these instructions, it's very hard to remember which one was which. So the labels were really helpful. Lastly, you are going to cut out the two pocket pieces and we're ready to sew. Actually, one more step, and that's to create the asymmetrical hem. To do that, you are going to place your ruler at the center front and center back corner on the bottom left, and then the other end of the ruler is going to go at the notch that is on the side seam. You can draw a line between those two, and then as I was cutting, I kind of just rounded out that line a little bit to give myself more of a U shape in the hem rather than a V. Okay, after that, you kind of want to unfold the dress so that the front and the back are laying on top of each other. Then you want to transfer the little dashed lines that are going to make the opening of the pocket. We need to transfer those. So I'm going to do that by taking two pins and putting one in each corner of that little dashed line shape and transferring those dots to the front of the garment. Then I'm going to do the same exact thing to the pocket piece that has that same dashed line shape on it. I'm going to put two pins in each corner and transfer those to the fabric. Then I'm going to lay the pocket piece on top of the dress. This is going to be wrong side of the pocket to the right side of the dress. And I'm going to line up those little dots that I made and pin the pocket onto the dress. And then finally, to transfer the actual shape, I just made another little pattern piece. I just put a scrap piece of paper over top of the shape that was on the pocket piece, traced around it, and then cut that out. And now I'm going to trace that onto my fabric. So once I've got that shape traced onto my pocket piece, which is lined up to my front, I am going to pin all that together and sew around the marking line that I made. All right, now this part admittedly is very scary, but you are going to cut into both the pocket piece and the dress and cut out the interior of that shape, leaving, I don't know, 3/8, half an inch behind. Then you want to clip all the curves and give that a good press. Once you've got your dress with like an actual hole in the middle, then you want to take the other pocket piece, line it up with the one I'm working on the interior of the garment now. So I've got the right side of the second pocket piece lined up with the inside of the dress. Line all that up and sew around just the two pocket pieces, leaving the dress free. Now it's time to make the ruffle for the pocket. You're going to take your 3-inch wide strip of fabric and cut it down to 23 inches long. Then you are going to fold it wrong sides together. And then to finish the short ends, I ended up folding them back on each other, right sides together, and then just stitching along that short end, clipping the corner, turning it back right side out, and you get like a really pretty finish rather than doing the hem that she suggests in the instructions. Once you've got this, then you need to do your gathering stitches and gather up this 23-inch piece to somewhere around 11.5 inches. Then you're going to take the pocket binding piece and you are going to sew that right sides together with your ruffle and then turn it back almost as if you were creating like a bias binding for this singular ruffle piece. Once you've got that entire ruffle constructed with the bias, with the binding attached to it, you are essentially just going to top stitch that to the top of the pocket. I ended up switching out my sewing machine's pressing foot to an edge stitching foot and then placing that little shark fin that's on the bottom of that presser foot in like along the edge of the binding and dropping my needle just to the inside and then sewing all around like a little box. Now it is time to work on the neckline. So starting 1 inch to the right of the center front, you are going to place your neck binding. It has been folded in half with wrong sides together. And I'm just going around the entire circumference of the neck opening. I'm going to end 1 inch to the left of center front with enough little seam allowance so that I can fold in the ends of the strap and finish them neatly. Then you're going to take the little 6-inch piece and again having it folded in half and the ends finished the same way that we did for the pocket ruffle. You are going to lay that on top of the neckline, centering it across the center front. So with all that into place, you are going to take it to your sewing machine. You are going to sew around that entire neckline opening. At the center front, you're going to sew over both the wider neck strap and also the thinner one as well. I also serged this seam. And when you're done and you turn the seam allowances down, you can see that you end up creating this little like opening that is at the center front. Your drawstring is going to come out of the wider straps and then you have that little opening there to like tie it off. So you're going to sew the seam allowances down for the wider of the neck straps and also the narrower one as well. All of those get sewn down, creating that little opening for your drawstring. So now it is time to sew the side seams. You are going to sew from the hem of the sleeve all the way through like where the curve of the armpit is, all the way down the side of the dress to the bottom hem. And I don't know, I was feeling extra special that day, so I made French seams. French seams are not difficult to do, there's just a couple more steps. So you're going to sew like you would normally, except you do it wrong sides together to start. Then at your cutting table, you trim away some of your seam allowance, flip the garment so that the seam is now right sides together, or the fabric is now right sides together, and then you're going to sew that side seam again, all the way from the sleeve of the hem, all the way down the side seam to the hem of the dress. Next, it is time to hem the sleeves. So you are going to take the little sleeve hem binding. You're going to sew the short ends together to create this little loop. Then you're going to take the sleeve hem on the dress and you're going to create gathered seam. We're going to do this exactly like we did the little ruffle for the pocket. So we create the gathers. We pull the gathers up to match the length of that little loop, and then we sew the loop on, right sides together, and then we turn it over the raw edge, just like a binding would be done. Now that the sleeve hems are done, it's time to hem the actual dress. The next few steps are very, very similar to what we did for the neckline. So first you need to measure the length of your hem. This measurement is not provided for you. Anyways, you want to measure from the center front all the way through the first side seam, all the way around the back, and then just like an inch or two past the other side seam. That measurement you want to double, and that needs to be the length of your 4-inch wide strip. Press that in half, wrong sides together. Finish the short ends just like we've done for the ruffle as well as the neckline. Then the only difference between this and the neckline is that this needs to be gathered, which is why we doubled the length of it. So you're going to run 2 gathering stitches, pull up those gathers, and then pin it onto your garment, again, starting at the center front and going all around past the second side seam. And then you're going to take the narrower of the 2 strips and you're going to lay that on top of the ends of the gathers. So again, folding in half, wrong sides together, finishing the short edges, and then laying it on top again with the raw edges matching and the finished edges kind of laying over or past the ruffled finished edges. Very similar to the neckline. Go remember the neckline, okay? And then you're going to sew that down onto the hem. Again, I ended up serging mine as well, because then you're going to turn those seam allowances up toward the inside of the garment. The ruffle's going to come down. The little band between the ends of the ruffle is also going to come down. And that is your finished hem. And after inserting your cording or ribbon of choice through the loop at the neckline, your tunic is done. Here is how mine turned out. I sized down significantly on mine. I ended up making a small, and I am not a small. I'm probably an extra large. But I wanted it to be billowy, but not too oversized. I think I ended up giving myself like 10 inches of ease at the hip. Either way, I love this. It's very comfortable. A little bit short on the sides, if I'm being honest. But I did download Tina Gibbons' other free pattern for like a slip. It's kind of just like a pillowcase dress, truly, with a ruffle on the bottom. So I intend on making that and having that hem peek out a little bit on the bottom. I think that'll be really cute. But the pocket on this is absolutely darling, and the neckline is adjustable, which is neat and fun. And like I said, it's just billowy and comfy, and just throw it on and you don't have to worry about anything. It is truly a really, really fun, easy breezy dress to sew and also wear. That is going to do it for today, though. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave all your questions in the comment section below. But otherwise, that's going to do it for me. I'll see you all very soon. Bye!